So squares are special parallelograms. They're very special because they have four congruent sides and four right angles. Four congruent sides, that's like a rhombus. Four right angles, that's like a rectangle. So squares have all the parallelogram properties, all the rectangle properties, and all the rhombus properties. So that means opposite sides are parallel, opposite angles are congruent, consecutive angles are supplementary, diagonals bisect each other, diagonals are congruent, the diagonals are perpendicular, the diagonals are angle bisectors, all that stuff. Everything is true. So here's a statement, and then these ones are actually written out for you. But if a quadrilateral is a square, then it's a parallelogram. So basically it's asking, is it true that if a shape, a quadrilateral is a square, then it is automatically a parallelogram? Does it have to be a parallelogram? And yes, that's true, because a square is a quadrilateral with four congruent sides, which means both pairs of opposite sides are congruent, which means it's a parallelogram. So yes, a square is a parallelogram. So here's one we got to fill in a couple of statements. If a quadrilateral is a square, then it's a rectangle. By definition, is a square is a quadrilateral with four right angles. By definition, a rectangle is also a quadrilateral with four right angles. So if they both have the same definition, yeah, they're both the same. So yes, a square is a rectangle. It's a special rectangle. If a quadrilateral is a square, then it's a rhombus. Let's go through pretty much the same explanation. Since it's a square, squares have four congruent sides. Rhombi, have four congruent sides. So a square is a rhombus. So then we're also going to go back, look at part A, and do it a little bit different. There's other ways you could have done that. So part A said if a quadrilateral is a square, then it's a parallelogram. We went with the fact that all four sides were congruent, so therefore opposite sides were congruent. Another way you could have gone is that all four angles are congruent, therefore opposite angles are congruent, therefore it's parallelogram. So we could do the same thing but with the angles. All four angles are congruent, therefore opposite angles are congruent, thus it's a parallelogram. Rather than saying it, I'll say a square